Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
He is looking to take his seat back. We'll have details on David Valadao filing papers to run for the 21st Congressional District.
Plus, trade talks continuing between the U.S. and China. We'll tell you which one official is saying where the negotiations are at.
And a good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in to 23 ABC News at 4:30 on this Thursday. I'm Mike Hart.
And I'm Melissa Flores in for Danielle Kernkamp this morning. We're going to turn now to Chief Meteorologist Elena Rusk. It's a little warmer in the studio this morning.
Right.
What's it going to be like?
Well, it was a little cooler outside.
Just kicked on.
Wasn't it cooler this morning when you walked out?
It was cooler this morning, yes. And we have fresh air, which we love. So moderate air quality and upper 90s again today, like yesterday. Yesterday officially ended up being 99, so I think today is going to be about the same. Maybe 100 here in Bakersfield, looking like we'll hit that triple-digit mark briefly in Arvin and Lamont. So there's a look at our roof camera, calm and quiet right now. And you see that we do have high pressure and control over Arizona, so that leaves our region warm. But all of that cooler air up to the north, that is going to play a greater influence in increasing winds for tomorrow and a cool down coming our way. So as we talk about temperatures this morning, 75 in Bakersfield, very mild, but some 60s in the North County as that breeze picks up. 68 in Wilford Heights, up into Tehachapi only 54, Pine Mountain Club 55, Fraser Park 60 with some 70s down into many of our desert cities. And that's just for now. So planning your day later here in Bakersfield, 74 at the 7 a.m. hour as you're kind of getting up, getting out the door, and then 80s for several hours through midday, 90s for several hours this afternoon. That 99 is only 1 degree above average. But again, I do have cooling coming, and I'll show you that in our extended forecast coming up. As for our roadways, we do have a crash to report. Right now we're seeing no slowing southbound on the Grapevine, but CHP says they're having to pace traffic because they have a jackknife big rig that is blocking the two right lanes near Lebec Road. So as you're coming around that curve, they want to get you to the left and past it. So no slowing because there aren't many people on the roads, but we'll keep an eye on this until it's officially cleared.
Topping our news this morning, former Congressman David Valadao apparently throwing his hat back in the campaign ring. He will once again run for the 21st Congressional District. According to the Federal Elections Commission, Valadao filed paperwork on Tuesday. Valadao, as you know, lost to T.J. Cox in a close contest in 2018, the first Republican to lose to a Democrat in the historically red district in more than a decade. The margin of difference was just 862 votes. We'll continue to monitor the race as it develops. You can follow the latest information on our website, turn23.com.
Both directions of Highway 43 west of Delano are back open after a deadly crash involving a semi-truck caused traffic issues. The CHP says at least one person has died after a head-on collision with a semi-truck that happened around 9:30 last night. The driver of the semi-truck reportedly suffered minor injuries. Crews were also on scene putting out a car fire that was caused by the crash. Both the northbound and southbound lanes of the 43 were closed, but again have reopened.
In your ag report, the U.S. and China still have to work through major issues to reach any trade agreement. This is according to the U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross. Some of the issues that the secretary said need to be addressed are property theft, structural reforms, and subsidies. On Tuesday, President Trump said the U.S. still had a long way to go to conclude a trade deal with China, and U.S. officials could still impose tariffs on an additional $325 billion worth of Chinese goods. The U.S. could also face Chinese sanctions after a World Trade Organization ruling. A gauge of global stocks declined for a second straight session amid those trade concerns.
Meantime, Secretary of Agriculture Sonny Perdue making his way to the Golden State to speak with avocado growers. According to the publication The Packer, Perdue toured an avocado grove in Escondido, discussing water and labor issues with growers and industry members. The California Avocado Commission has said that limited labor availability is worsening with an aging workforce and threats of ICE raids. The commission adding that a guest worker program is needed to help the industry.
Move over almond, soy, and coconut. Camel milk might be the next big thing on your store shelf. Camel farming is getting more popular in Australia, apparently. Farmers say they produce better milk because they treat their camels like family rather than machinery. Okay, camel milk's supposed to have similar color and texture to cow's milk, but apparently it tastes a little saltier. It's also more nutritious than cow's milk, according to the Australian government. They say it helps to fight allergies and diabetes. It's not cheap, though. It's about 12 times more expensive than cow's milk.
And it's salty, huh?
This moment of human kindness is sponsored by Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
A local restaurant owner launched his dream restaurant with some help, and now he's spreading that kindness forward.
In this morning's Hello Human Kindness segment, 23 ABC's Lesla Gooden shows us how Barrington's Kitchen's helping those in need.
Well, the full restaurant doesn't give me the feeling of what I'm trying to create. I want to create something where anybody can just walk up, feel welcome.
Barrington Lewis is a Jamaican native, father of 3, and a former track runner at Bakersfield College, and now owner of this Jamaican spot, Barrington's Kitchen. Just off of Highway 99 on Ming Avenue, his place sits in the parking lot of the 99-cent store and PetSmart. But he says he's only here today because of an act of kindness.
I was volunteering, coaching at West High School, and I cook for them every year. And one day I saw this big piece of metal behind the bleachers, all rusted out. And I asked, can I borrow that? And they said, well, you can take it if you can move it. It's the staple of the whole business right now.
That piece of metal, now the spot where he whips up Jamaican Caribbean food 7 days a week. His goal is to bring people together.
Yeah, just to have something different, a taste of something different. I like diversity, whether in terms of food or people, so to have something culturally or that provides that difference.
For some, Barrington's Kitchen isn't just a place to drive through and pick up food. For some, it's their only meal.
Very nice, very nice. For anyone to even give anything or even ask if you're hungry is very nice, you know, because not a lot of people do that. Thank you. Thank you for even thinking about the waste of food, because as we go places, there's so much food wasted that it's disturbing, you know.
Lewis says he knows what it's like to be hungry, and that's why every day he never throws away food. Instead, he gives them to his customers who need it the most.
You know, from a business standpoint, it's not the safest thing to do, but you know, it's discouraged, and I can understand why. But I looked way beyond all that and look at the humanity of the situation, where if someone is hungry and they can get some food, I will feed them. I can't throw food in the trash. Throwing food in the trash to me kind of brings tears to my eyes. I can't do it. So not when you have people walking around that haven't eaten for a day or 2, 3 days, you know. And if I can avoid throwing it in the trash, I can give it to someone who's hungry, who needs it.
In Bakersfield, Lesla Gooden, 23 ABC, connecting you.
And we love highlighting human kindness stories just like these. So if you or someone you know has done a kind thing for others, let us know on our website, turnto23.com. Click on the Hello Human Kindness link, and that's where you can submit your story idea and look at all of our other human kindness stories. Well, in other news, you can enjoy a cup of hot Joe and get to know the Tehachapi mayor this morning. Tehachapi is hosting its Coffee with the Mayor and the City Manager event. It's set to take place at the Coffee Mill on South Mill Street from 7:30 until 9:30 this morning. Organizers say the event allows the community a chance to have a conversation with city leaders and enjoy a cup of coffee.
Music will be emanating from Southwest Bakersfield tonight. Just in case you're near the marketplace, yeah, Concerts by the Fountain is back. It is at the Fountain, just in case you get lost, just look for the Fountain. Rod P. and New Standard will be knocking out some multi-generational hits today from 7 to 9. Concert series takes place at the marketplace every Thursday through the summer. Yeah, and it's going to be a nice night.
It's going to be
not
warm
bad
out there, but not bad at all. No, a little bit of a breeze, moderate air quality, some 90s. Great weather out there for a typical July day. You see a little bit of a trough there. That means that we have a dig in the jet stream, providing us some fresh breezes. So we are dry, sunny, stable, and warm. Yesterday was 99. I think today will be much of the same. And there goes some of those high, thin clouds like we saw yesterday. But as we talk about those thin clouds, they're not providing any shade, no relief from the heat, and no moisture either. So we have 60s and 70s to wake up to here on the valley floor, up into the Kern River, and down into the deserts. 50s in Breckenridge, Tehachapi, and Pine Mountain Club. Fraser Park 60 right now, Keene 63. So a pretty mild morning. And those wind speeds only in the single digits for many locations for now. Winds will be about 15 to 25 miles an hour at most for those higher elevations later on this afternoon. So with that, we are warm out there, trying to get to 100 in Lamont and Arvin. Bakersfield looking to be 99 like yesterday, but that is average. Typical high for today is 98. So feeling seasonal with those mid-90s in Kernville and Isabella as well. 80s for many other mountain locations, with Pine Mountain Club coming in at 77 this afternoon. And then down into our desert locations, you're going to see triple digits in Cal City City and Ridgecrest, but temperatures slowly falling the next couple days, and I'll show you that in our weekend forecast.
Coming up on 23 ABC News, we have a recall to tell you about. Details on what the reasons are for this recall on several brands of hummus.
Ooh. Plus, no worries for the rest of your day. That's right. Lion King is finally here. Hakuna Matata. We'll have more on what one star said about getting to play a character in this film straight ahead. 4:40. You're watching 23 ABC.
Welcome back, kids. We talk about our traffic countywide, everything running along in the green. Those passes look good. Here on the valley floor, we're just fine, but there is a jackknife big rig here on the southbound 5 as you are approaching Lebec Road. So you see traffic is running in the green, but CHP says that they are running some brakes, meaning they're making sure that traffic is able to pass this on the left as the right 2 lanes are blocked. Further up, we have a camera here at the base of the Grapevine showing you that things are wide open as you're heading south out of the valley or north coming down the grade.
In health news, several brands of hummus are being recalled due to a listeria risk. Brands to check for include 7 Select, Schnucks, Roundy's Reezers, Pita Pal, and others. You can find item numbers for the affected products at FDA.org. Listeria is a serious infection that can cause diarrhea, fever, confusion, and other flu-like symptoms as well. It's especially dangerous for those who are already ill, young children, elderly people, and pregnant women. The recalls are voluntary. So far, no illnesses have been reported. And the multi-state E. coli outbreak linked to recalled flour appears to be over, but health experts worry there are still people at risk. Top brands affected include Pillsbury, King Arthur Flour, and Baker's Corner. The Centers for Disease Control said even though there's no longer an outbreak, people may still have the items in their pantries, which could make them sick later. Symptoms of E. coli infection include severe stomach cramps, vomiting, and diarrhea. The CDC reports 21 illnesses and 3 hospitalizations so far from the recalled flour. If it's still in your home, it should be thrown away.
Well, if you think airline seating is notoriously tight, you're not alone. In fact, there's a good chance your flight attendant agrees with you. The Association of Professional Flight Attendants testified about that issue on Capitol Hill. The APFA represents flight attendants working for American Airlines. They told the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, quote, "It is a torture chamber for our passengers and for us that also fly on our own airlines." They went on to say the decreasing size of plane seating is also a safety issue because it makes emergency exits, quote, "almost impossible in certain situations." In other news, Bank of America certainly did not struggle in the second quarter. The bank announced it made record profits thanks to Americans' sturdy spending habits. B of A said it made nearly $7.5 billion. That's a jump in profits of 8%. If you think that's good, well, the bank also shared that so far in the first 6 months of this year, it's taken in $14.7 billion in profits. Also a record for Bank of America.
Netflix admits it missed the mark with its forecasted amount of new membership numbers. The company announced it added 2.7 million new subscribers in its second quarter this year, but analysts say they were expecting 5 million new subscribers. Profits for the streaming service also fell between the first and second quarters, but revenue was up. Netflix says it's expecting its third quarter to be better than its second. It now has 151.5 million subscribers around the world. It plans to add another 7 million in the next quarter.
Wow. Entertainment news, The Lion King roaring into theaters today with a blend of new voices and some nostalgic ones. It is, of course, the Disney tale of love and loss and finding your strength. The film stars Donald Glover as the voice of Simba. He says he was honored to be a part of something that was already cherished by so many.
You know, it's a global story, and I feel like we're in very global times. It's not like small communities anymore. Like, we have to come together. So I felt like, you know, I'm very excited about being a part of something like this. Beyonce co-stars alongside Glover. She voices Alana. James Earl Jones also reprises his role as Mufasa. The film is expected to easily top the box office this week. It's going to crush the box office.
Simba is even cuter in the live action.
Oh, no.
He was cute as a cartoon, but come on.
Right?
That's even better.
Let's go to Elena Mufasa. Yeah.
I was just watching that with my daughter yesterday. Let's take a look at Bakersfield, how we're at 75, but many other locations here in the valley in the 60s to wake up to, including Lamont and the North County, Wolford Heights, Isabella, Keene, Bear Valley Springs, Lebec, Fraser Park, all enjoying those 60s this morning. Same down into Mojave, Rosamond, and Jawbone Canyon. And that's because we still have high pressure and control, but some high, thin clouds are going to be coming through today. A little bit of a westerly wind. Those winds pick up more tomorrow. So today is hot like yesterday, 99 in the forecast, and then tomorrow only the mid-90s. That's going to last through Saturday. You're not seeing any rain coming out of these systems, just some of those high, thin clouds and that nice onshore flow. Those westerly breezes is what's keeping us with these temperatures that'll drop, and it's also keeping us with moderate air quality, which we like. So the last several days have been seasonal. Today is looking the same, and then those mid-90s are down below average for Friday and Saturday, but that's about all we get. By Saturday, you see the westerly winds start lifting to the north. There will be more systems moving on shore heading into early next week, but we're going to have high pressure building in and dominating our pattern, and that means 100s trying to return. So all that is to say, here's how it looks as you look across the board. From 99 today to only 95 tomorrow, 96 Saturday, and then back to 99. That's just above our average of 98 come Sunday. 100s next week, some high thin clouds coming through. Definitely hot as that high pressure is building, but it's also going to try and wrap around some monsoonal moisture. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there's a slight chance of thunderstorms for the Sierra. We'll call it about a 10% chance here in the valley on Wednesday, and we'll watch for it. But up at our higher elevations and down into our desert, they always have the better chance of seeing those monsoonal thunderstorms building. And again, that's not until after we get through these mild temperatures. 94 in Isabella today, low 90s Friday, Saturday. Tehachapi, Fraser Park, 80s right on through the weekend. Fantastic weather for you. And then building next week, see how we have more cloud cover, very slight chances of those showers and thunderstorms, and it will also make this heat feel a little more humid too.
Coming up on 23 ABC News, it was an iconic symbol from the Apollo 11 mission, the American flag. We'll tell you about the special connection one city has with that flag. That's coming up.
4:53 now. You may have seen the Wienermobile out on the road. Have you ever wondered what's inside that rolling dog? Now's your chance to find out. The company's putting its road trip in Frankfurter on Airbnb. Yes, they are. Yeah, that beef link can sleep too. Comes with its own outdoor space, has a mini fridge stuffed with, yes, Oscar Myers.
Of course.
You can only book one night though. It'll run you $136 with a couple of catches. Only the first 3 nights in August are available. Okay. Reservations are granted on a first come first served basis. And get your refresh button ready because that will happen at undisclosed times beginning July 24th.
You gonna go for it?
I will. I will.
You know that iconic image of Buzz Aldrin planting the American flag on the surface of the moon during the Apollo 11 mission? Well, the fabric in that particular Old Glory was produced at a mill in the small town of Rhodus, North Carolina. The Burlington Textile Mill closed down long ago, but people there are still very proud of the piece of history they helped create, and rightfully so. With the 50th anniversary of the moon landing coming up in just days, the town is planning a special celebration. Folks who worked at the mill, like former employee Carl Compton, couldn't be happier about the occasion.
When we made the flag material, the employees didn't know it, that it was going to the moon. Everybody was excited. I mean, you know, it was, to us, it was a big thing.
Compton says he hopes America lands on the moon again someday. He says he wants to go and help reset the flag as it was likely blown down during takeoff all those decades ago.
Tranquility Base. Meantime, a man soared over Bastille Day celebrations in Paris on a flying board. Check it out. French inventor and entrepreneur Frankie Zapata piloted the jet-powered aerial vehicle, which he calls the Flyboard Air. The board can reach an altitude of about 500 feet. No thanks.
Making me dizzy.
With the potential to go much higher at 87 miles an hour. The father of one has worked with the U.S. and French militaries. The French have invested $1.4 million in the testing of the board. Zapata spent 3 years creating his Flyboard Air.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it looks like fun. Am I the only one?
No, it's making me dizzy. The video is making me dizzy.
Yeah.
So, hey, we're at 75 here in Bakersfield. That's just about the same as yesterday. It is very dry out there. We're going to be sunny and hot yet again, but these temperatures are seasonal. All this week, we've been in those upper 90s. Today is much of the same at 99, and then a stronger breeze tomorrow takes us to 95. Saturday, 96. Okay, those are still hot temperatures, but they're below average, which we like to see. That 99 on Sunday, just above average, which is 98 for this time of year. And then 100 hundreds for all next week. You're going to see some thin clouds coming through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for the Sierra to our north, and possibly in our local mountains and deserts. There's a slight chance of thunderstorms. We'll call it about a 10% chance here on the valley on Wednesday and see how that develops as we get closer.
Coming up in our next hour, helping out with earthquake relief efforts. Details on what Red Cross is doing to help the communities of Ridgecrest and Trona.
Plus, the Apollo 11 mission was historic, but so was the tech that was needed to showcase the moment. Take a look back at the mechanical marvel of that time. 4:56 as we head to the top of the hour. This is one small step for 23 ABC.